Welcome back to sunny London, England. We are back here with the GG Bet Ice Challenge. You didn't leave it.
No, I didn't buy it.
It's pretty miserable here right now. I'm sure the players aren't exactly enjoying this kind of atmosphere out there right now. It's kind of a political atmosphere, a weather one going on right now as well. It's not ideal, but we are in London.
We're inside.
Yeah, we're inside, and some good Counter-Strike going on as well. If you're just joining us, we've got Na'Vi versus GODSENT. First map, bit of a damn squib, to be honest with you. Not really much going on. It was 16-6 in favor of Na'Vi, who would look like they would have closed out a series 2-0. That was the opponent's map pick. Move on to Dust 2, and some way, somehow, Makaleli and co go absolutely nuts. Maiden showed us what he's made of. He gets what? 33 frags there. Unbelievable scenes, really, and he looked like a world-class player. We go to the third and final map now of Train, and Na'Vi, they don't look their usual selves in terms of a tactical point of view. Still, the fragging's absolutely fine. No problem there. It just seems like, in terms of a well-rounded unit, a team, I feel like GODSENT actually have the edge in that respect. Even though they got blown out the water 16-6 in the first map, after seeing Dust 2, I feel like they're better prepared. And I guess it's down to those points you made earlier. They haven't been going to events for a year. They've been grinding the theory side of the game, and actually looks like it's working out for them.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And whether or not that's going to be expanded to the entirety of the map pool, that obviously remains to be seen. Train has been in the past a very solid map pick for the likes of Na'Vi. But again, they're coming into this with a new player on the roster. They haven't necessarily had too much time to practice with Perfecto, making the roster change from Guardian. And that might be some change-ups in terms of positioning, obviously, because now Simple goes back to the op.
You can see there are some issues with that in general, like Simple spending too much money, generally speaking. Like I feel like that's
cheeky
an issue.
Like
every other team you'll watch at the AWPA, when they do force buy, like he'll just take the Deagle, no armor. Like Simple's just there with all the boys every single time, making sure he's part of the investment. And I'm not a huge fan of it, but I get it with his skill, pedigree and skill. Yes, he can get away with a bit more than most AWPers, but something you need to bear in mind. You're not going to get all the pistol kills if you're the AWPA, for example. Let's get into it then, sorry. And well, here we go then.
Slight hiccup there. Electronic finds Sticko. Michael within a chance here. Somebody messed up their slice, stab, and that's actually going to allow for Michael to close out the knife round. So GODSENT get the choice of side. Would be very surprised if they don't opt in for the CT side here on Train. And that's obviously going to be interesting, because one of the things that we, I guess, continuously harp on Na'Vi for having issues with is being able to make adaptations. Boomich is not necessarily a natural in-game leader, is not necessarily the one who, I guess, has that third eye to kind of pick up on what the opponents is doing.
Working with Blade so closely, like remember, yes, Blade cannot talk while the game's live. And all that practice games, you can be chatting and kind of spotting things and telling him how to react to certain situations. So I feel like with the time he's had, if it's not working out at this point, like that they should be considering other options. But I think it's like we'll see how it develops. Obviously, we've only had a couple of maps in terms of the sample size so far. They have got a new player in there as well. But here's Zen, pushing in towards Ivy, the third and final map of the evening here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do it all over again tomorrow. 4 best of 3s. Simple for now, kicking things off with the inside play with Flamey. It's back and forth, and no bomb will be planted this time. They'll actually be falling back as Crystal investigates the Brown Horse position. He's confirmed it's clear, but Simple, he now has the USP and is taking everyone down in front of him. Madden is in a lot of trouble here, as he will be dropped as well. Simple to get his third frag of the round, I believe. And we'll see Crystal stuck towards Pop Dog. Bomb to be planted, no problem whatsoever here for Na'Vi. It would take something miraculous at this point from Crystal. If he gets his first kill, it would have to be with 1 bullet, and then replicate that a second time. We'll see if it can be done. That was the chance, not going to happen just yet.
Yeah, no diffuse kit as well. It's going to be a bit of an issue. And you have Simple and Electronic still alive. He's going to stick it, which is, I guess, about as good of a chance. About as good of a chance as you would have in that round. But Na'Vi will end up with the pistol round here on the T side of Train. You see what Simple went through. Pretty much cleared out everything. That's a great second shot in Ivy. And yeah, definitely needed for the CIS squad to be able to get off to a good start. They definitely didn't feel good about how everything ended on Dust 2, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was a weird finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
The odds brought to you, if you are a betting man at home, gg.bets. You can see Na'Vi still the clear favorites going into this one. These are live.
Have it inched closer, I guess, from Dust 2?
Yes, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess
so
after winning the pistol on the T side, that's had some weight knocked onto it as well. But yeah, I guess we don't really know. We have no idea. Like, we would have said Dust 2 would have been a foregone conclusion for Na'Vi. Like, no one else would have said otherwise.
Yeah.
After seeing Nuke especially, right? We would have had no reason to pick them because it was the pick of Na'Vi. They just lost 16-6. And you'd think, yeah, Na'Vi, they've got this.
Absolutely.
And they had a 3-0 deficit to kick things off as well. Na'Vi had the 3-0 start. All signs point to Na'Vi, but they ended up losing. Either way, Scout shots connecting now. Sticko has actually been a bit of a beast. And remember, he used to play inside for Hellraisers, I believe. That's when he really kind of came on our radars. He used to be a very capable player, but for now, residing towards Ivy, I should say. Looking for any jumping players towards Ivy, and at this point, they have smoked him off again. I think it's going to flash through this.
Oh, they're going to boost over? Na'Vi are taking a lot of time here to the point where they're going to use a lot of utility to just make it out.
So they can boost.
Okay, they're really just inching forward here and decide to just not do it at all. Okay.
Yeah, bit of a waste of time, and time is of the essence here with 25 seconds and taking another scout tag. Again, this is exactly what I was talking about, Harvard.
Yeah.
They can get themselves into advantageous positions. They just don't seem to know what to do with it. Like, they've wasted so much time with that boost.
No, they're saving.
They're saving.
They spent about 1 minute and 20 seconds just hanging out in Ivy.
That's just that's woeful, isn't it? Good pressure, good damage, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But still, you can do more than just sitting at Ivy trying to boost incorrectly.
And there are certain points in time.
Gone down as well. Did you go half at a time?
No, just before, I'm pretty sure. But there are points in time during a round where as a T side you feel like, well, it's either now or never. And it doesn't seem like that instinct sits within Na'Vi.
No, I think they probably cross the streams a little bit, I think, in those sort of scenarios. You've probably got players like Simple and Flamey saying, let's go, and you've got like the in-game leader saying, let's not.
No.
And it's just like, you really do, this is me completely speculating, of course, but like those sort of scenarios, it didn't look like there was any conviction behind their initial play. They actually got good spacing, they had some real estate on the map, they could have just gone to the backtracks there with that smoke down. They confirmed Scout on the other side, definitely could have got backtracks.
They could have done it twice.
Boosted for what felt like 40 seconds and then got nothing from it and just walked out one by one.
Right?
No, and you end up saving with 3 people on a T-side round when they've got forced by, there's like so much wrong with that. But at least it's happening now in the opening game of their tournament instead of in the semi-final, I suppose.
Yeah, there is room to work yourself into a tournament at least. But it's not exactly the debut that I think Na'Vi fans wanted to see out of their team. Already it's going from bad to worse here with Boomich and Perfecto being taken out. Maiden adds 2 to his resume. Oh, Electronic figures out what's going on. Gives them a bit of an opening. A lot of damage being done in the meantime, though. And Zen is going to couple up with the damage done from Sticko to find Electronic. So that's the Krieg out, at least for a couple of seconds before Simple picks it up. And Flamey joins in on the fun with the Deagle shot as well. For GODSENT, they want to be a little bit weary about giving up too much here.
Well, they won't be giving up much silver looks things here. They've got poor old Flamey stuck in towards despawn. Might be able to get 1 kill here, which he does. That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
Gives himself a sliver of a chance of winning this one. With 20 seconds remaining and about the same HP, I don't think he'll be going for it necessarily. Time is ticking away now. He's seeing if there's any more kills available to himself. Probably better off saving the Krieg, considering his teammates will be able to buy next round regardless. They're going to get $1,400 per player, or $1,900 I should say.
Yeah.
And at that point, they're eco anyway, so he might as well take the Krieg to the next.
Do Na'Vi buy up behind this, though? They only had a
The fact they got 3 kills and they want to keep Flamey's money the same as everyone else's, he's got a full buy as well, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Because they're going to get 2,400 next round, so it's enough for a buy, but Flamey wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
They got 3 kills in the previous round. It's very early on. It's not a massive risk. It's a calculated one. I would say there's definitely a conversation to be had about buying, but not one I could bank on right now. Let's have a look.
Maybe they decide to hold on. Maybe they're just going to go into the round with this, see what they're able to do with the Krieg, and if everything goes completely awry, they can hold on to the Krieg or attempt to save it once more. We'll see, though. Boomich out quickly, firing off shots just to create some distraction as the majority of the team moves towards enter. This is going to be Golden Aid.
Oh my god, that's a record breaker.
Oh, he doesn't have head armor, though.
250. Are they going to
get a bomb plant here off this?
Yep.
All right.
And a kill, maybe 1 more. It doesn't really matter how good the grenade was. You get the plant out of full eco, you're pretty happy.
I think Crystal, if that's the situation where he has head armor and he was the only person on GODSENT who didn't have head armor, he sticks with it. There's no bomb plant to be found.
It's cool the coach gets a PC here.
Yeah.
Means I
feel like that's a bit of a rarity, right?
I don't know why we went away from that so much. Like, it's not like they do a massive amount of standing there anyway. If they can only talk 4 times per game, they might as well have everything they need.
Absolutely. I think it gives you a lot of comfort as a coach as well, just to be able to feel like you can, instead of just constantly have to peer over to each and every monitor.
We must be at a point now where there's some sort of tablet that can handle CSGO to some extent,
probably, yeah.
Just so you can just stand there behind them and do that. We must have got to that point. Valve did put in a coach feature built into the game for a reason. You'd assume they would use it.
There's definitely some clever heads who would be able to create that, if nothing else.
I think we did a PGO years ago. We created the whole thing for the Cluj Napoca.
No, it would have been Krakow one. Right?
No, this is actually but PGO did the production for that one.
Ah, okay.
So I think we created for that. Maybe it was for the one after, but either way, we had this whole thing where the coaches had a screen inside where had all the gameplay, like all 5 screens built in. I thought that was really cool, but apparently it wasn't used and didn't really work out. So I don't know. I think like a tablet or something would be cool, just so they actually get valuable insight. Because right now, as a coach, you don't actually hear in-game sound at all. You get nothing.
That's a nightmare.
So you just get voices. So you don't know about shots that have been taken or reloads or granades that have been thrown. You don't get that intel. You get nothing. You just get voice comms, no sound, which is actually a big deal, I think.
It's a massive thing. Ooh, Baden, well, with the Krieg, decides to go for the repeak. Wins out the duel versus Boomich as well. So over a minute gone by, Na'Vi still haven't moved anywhere on the map.
No, this is classic Na'Vi.
Question is if they have that classic Na'Vi plan for what they're going to do for the last 20 seconds.
You got Blade as the coach, you got Na'Vi as an org. All signs are looking good for a very slow execution there. But this is, again, the 1-by-1 maneuver with no real methodology behind it. It's kind of strange because what do they do now? 20 seconds ready, waited all this time. You're going to get out of Ivy, but Maiden's still alive here. Good shot. Michael getting stronger and stronger as the series goes on. Quite underwhelming from Na'Vi, I have to say. If you're low on utility in general, would like to see that's more of a quicker execution off the bat, like try and get the bomb down like they did on that eco round. The defaults, especially without the AWP, are going to be difficult, but GODSENT 4-1 up.
The strange thing about that play as well is the fact that it didn't seem like the remainder of the Na'Vi players were necessarily that committed to sending Boomich out.
I know, right?
That much of a follow-up behind it.
It's like you go out and see what happens. Yeah. We'll go from there.
This is your round. It's like relay race, Counter-Strike style. You get a chance.
It doesn't look like this is a team that's been off for a month, just like honing their craft right now. I'll say that much. GODSENT, on the other hand, after the first map, have actually looked like a really solid unit. Orb for Makalele.
Maybe all they needed was really the warm-up.
Yeah, I guess it was. That's why he said at least like this would be a competitive scoreline in the first. See what they can do on the map. Pick of Na'Vi, apparently win it.
I'm just really enjoying watching Maiden play.
Me
so
too.
Far.
You've converted me. I'm a fan already.
Yeah, he's been really, really good.
I had the same thing with Frozen. Like I had all this hype around it and I wasn't that convinced. And then I saw this one game of his. I was like, okay, I get it now.
There's certain players you could tell, depending on the kind of, not necessarily how hard they can shoot, because again, most of the youngsters who get a shot at this stage has incredible mechanical skill, but it's about their decision making and how they position themselves and all that. And Maiden just seems to do no wrong in most of these scenarios.
Well, another clean round for himself as he manages to get 3 in total. It's on the rack him up now. CT side Krieg on train is one of the most deadliest ones you can have. Like it's unreal. Like this is where the game was broken at one point with the Org meta, like on train. But you get the Krieg in the CT side.
No, just have a better gun.
Yeah, just can just absolutely obliterate anyone, any distance, one bullet, be hidden away on the most disgusting part of the map. You won't even know about it.
Yeah. Oh, Na'Vi are definitely taking the Krieg. Well, punishment they've received to mind as they picked up 3 on their own. Simple on the op. We'll see if Na'Vi can start stringing rounds together here. If this is actually going to get a bit out of control early on. 5-1 is still a sizable lead for GODSENT. Oh, GODSENT playing the bait and switch here. Zen behind the first cubby, and Michael Ellis already fired off an op shot. So Electronic knows that there's someone at the far back. Might not be likely to check for Zen as well. Actually, the nade comes out to tag him up pretty heavily, and he's going to bail out. But damage done, and also some map control gained for GODSENT here as well. It's another nice setup. Stico to take first contact as Maiden is sitting aggressively inside of T-main. And Na'Vi setting up for what seems to be a pretty standard yard take.
Yeah, but there's some grenades behind it. That's what we want to see. And some coordination as well. The spacing looks much better. They can actually trade out kills. This is much more like it from Na'Vi. hitting their shots, and they've actually got the advantage here as well, but still work to be done. Michael will bring things back to an even keel. Simple alive, time running low though, but they are close to the bomb site and they're together, more importantly. There's no one on the other side of the map trying to cause a rotation. Here to frag, but no grenades, Alvor.
Yeah.
This is a massive problem now. They are relying on mistakes of the CTs, and Boomich, okay, he is on the other side of the map. And he actually makes it work as well. 2 versus 1 now, and they'll make their way towards inside. Nice mid-round call here from Na'Vi, making their way back through, leaving Crystal and what looks to be, or should be, a pretty much impossible task, considering the advantages that they found, and now they've got the information as to where it is. Crystal will sneak out of the connector.
A lot of noise being made by Boomich, though. I don't know why you're moving so much, Boomich.
That's actually kind of fascinating. Perfecto might have played this to perfection. We'll see if he can do enough here. Won't be the full defuse from Crystal, and he's waited just enough time, and he'll win the round. It comes down to 5 health. Damn.
It's scary.
Okay, but still, they did enough. And that, like I said, the build-up to that finish was much better. The spacing was there this time, and actually committed out of main entrance instead of going Boomich first, and then 5 seconds later some other dude comes out. There were 3 players together that even if someone went down, they were ready to trade.
Yeah.
So it instantaneously better. And going back towards inside there, Boomich had to hit that crazy shot he did with the Krieg, which he pulls off. Bomb down, and Crystal almost steals it away, I have to say, but still they win the round with only 1 player surviving. That's a real problem because we know plenty of cash available for the GODSENT boys. Not so much on Na'Vi. There's a Galil out for Electronic. Shot rattled off from Michael. If anything, this shows presence. So they're going to have to use grenades now just to flush that position out. They can't have free control of it.
Michael actually puts down the aggressive smoke because he expects to be mollied out.
Yeah, that's a good point. So it gives him a slight gap still.
So far, though, Na'Vi with a slower approach. It worked out in the previous round. We'll see if it does so once more. A lot more real estate being given up in Ivy. We've seen GODSENT actually contest that a fair bit in the past. Now it's just Sent hanging out here at the back. Molotov's going to come in at a timely point, but still not enough to stop Simple from taking the peak.
Good job. Nice teamwork as well, extinguishing the flames behind him. Simple now swinging with Electronic. This is looking much better for them. They've woken up since the timeout. Flashbang from Michael. The only one that can really save the round at this point with the weapon in hand is the sniper rifle, as they do recover the M4, upgrading from the Galil now. Smoke down to allow access towards the backtracks. 2 players on the other side, and here's the boost again. This is what cost them the round before. Will it happen once again? And now shots starting to come through as Maiden seems to be aware at least, but Electronic holds his nerve. 3 versus 2 now. Michael still alive here. The smoke dissipates. He has on for another, but there it is. The positioning of Boomich. He's been very good at this. Has caught them out once again, and Crystal left with another 3 versus 1. This time, odds stacked against him. Good positioning with the drop down towards Pop Dog. He might be able to deny the plant. It wouldn't be enough to win the round.
Okay, that was a lot of aim punch.
Yep. I don't think he had a helmet, so that the shots through the wall just absolutely wrecked him.
Yeah. There was a chance there. Again, yeah, as you said, dropping the bomb in that scenario, if somebody's looking the wrong way, then he can constantly go back and forth. But Na'Vi managed to hold on to it, and they keep 3 players alive. So now I guess the real challenge begins for GODSENT here. They've gone to a double-up setup. Stico was hitting shots on Dust 2. We'll see if he's going to be able to recreate that form on Train as well here. It's definitely going to be needed. Simple being boosted up. And this is the shot. Actually, I think Perfecto got shot from beneath him, so he was mid-air as he fired the shot. In any case, though, it's a big advantage for GODSENT to pick up early. The second one as well. Michael is being much more active here.
He's looking much better. Like the first map on Nuke, which I guess you have to bear in mind, Orpus can't really do much of anyway.
It's tough.
It's like 1 pick, survived the round. That's about as good as it gets. This is an Orpus-centric map, like Dust 2 is. He stepped up there and starting to see that he's still got it now. It's actually quite refreshing to see that. Not so much. Crystal does a little bit of damage there, but ultimately lets them in. Smokes it down. A real chance for Na'Vi to get back in the round here, especially if Michael sits in the flames. Looking for any sort of opening here. Not going to get it. Another tick of damage taken as they get closer and closer.
Quick rotations, though. They've actually gotten past Simple. This could be quite the disaster. Maiden through the smoke on lower Train. Zen with the perfect timing, and everything's collapsing for Na'Vi right now. Swatted out as well, Boomich. Not a whole lot he can do. That was a good retake. And again, very early rotations from GODSENT as well. Completely caught Na'Vi off guard.
4 players surviving, funneling them towards inside. They got the entry kill as well. Only 1 player goes down. That's a really strong round from GODSENT. even the bomb planted. Money's not amazing for Na'Vi. There is a buy there. They might want to take a tactical timeout here, though. 6-3. Alarm bell's not really going off on either side. It's okay. Not ideal of your Na'Vi, I guess. You weren't expecting to even be on a third map, to be honest with you.
Simple actually opting out from the op in this scenario, so we might see something quick from Na'Vi.
I feel this is the problem. When they start having bad games and like Simple's not having much impact at the AWP, they'll just can it. And it will just be there won't be a consistency to their gameplay. It'll just be whatever he feels like on the day, and it'll be difficult to lift trophies in that manner.
You kind of have to constantly come up with new ideas and new strategies.
He's changing things up because he's not feeling it one time, and whatever he's going to say is going to happen. Instead of having like, this is our role plan, we're going to base our gameplay around this and like grow this strategy and see if we can blossom this into something fantastic. Like, this is what I fear is like when he feels that the team's not doing something right, he's like, I'll just do it. You guys aren't doing it, let me do this. And then he's like, how do you keep that sustainable going forward? Like, sure, you might win you one tournament here and there.
Yeah.
But I just don't think you'll become the world's best team without having a consistent structure.
And that has to be the goal for Na'Vi, right? You can't be satisfied with just being a one-off.
Yep. And that's been the problem for them. Like, they'll win one trophy a year. That's, what, the last 2 years, that's been the problem.
Inner once again. Stico is able to find the first one. Crystal not able to do a whole lot of damage this time either. And now Na'Vi are getting the picks they need, at least for the time being. A lot of back and forth.
So, Simple still alive. Krieg in hand this time. Stico being so patient. He can actually see the feet beneath there on the bomb train. Okay,
that scared me.
Yeah, just like, surprise. Simple is ready, and he's bayoneted him. Straight on the throat there. We are going to have a 3 versus 2. Round will be done. It's enough as Na'Vi will get their 4th on the board there. It's up to Michael Ailey and Zen to save the AK and the AWP.
That's one of those terrifying situations where it could swing so easily. If Stico reacts in time, he finds Simple. He might even get a double due to the lineup, the guy on site. And all of a sudden, GODSENT are well within the reaches of a round. Instead, Stico has a mini heart attack, and Na'Vi get their 4th.
Yeah, if he gets that kill, you're right. That was a swing kill for sure, but Simple just checks him just before he pulls the trigger. I guess there was a chance of him killing Simple, but you just saw nothing but barrel at that point. It all just got taken away very quickly. And we go 6-4, 10 rounds played, number 11 coming through. And money pretty decent on either side. You can see a 5-7 for Crystal, and also shotgun for Sticker. They still have the all for Michael Ailey. They're hoping that he can carry them through this round. If they don't, if they give this one away, this is where things start to become very interesting for Na'Vi. They could go 6-6 very quickly.
Oh, Michael with the aggressive positioning towards Sandwich. And the double aggression in inner is going to work out. Oh, well, GODSENT with more tricks up their sleeve.
Yeah, they've got setups. They've got little designed ideas that help them get these initial frags there. The 2 players push towards low ramp. Why not? You've both got lesser weapons. Get that fade away. You've got the AWP focus close towards main where a lot of action comes through as well. Instead of being tucked away, we can be smoked off. This is by design. Yeah.
The only thing that has me a little bit worried is the fact that they put Crystal as the solo defender even after finding those 2 openings because he's on a 5-7. Stico doesn't really have too many options in terms of where he wants to go, and he's about to be very dead. That long barrel of the auto shotgun doesn't do him any favors. Oh, and Electronics making the most out of it here. Brings this back to even numbers. Still no rotation there. Do you have the long flank from Zen coming in, though?
We'll see if there's enough for them. 35 seconds here. It's been a slow-paced game from Na'Vi, generally speaking. With the advantage of sorts for now, but Zen could sabotage all of their efforts here. Just goes for the quick kill. Luckily, he chooses the right one. That's the bomb that goes down.
Yeah.
An HE grenade lands near Electronic, but not enough to cause any damage.
Now they're going to get the confirmation that they can make the rotation for Crystal as well. Everything going the way of GODSENT, at least until Electronic finds Michaelella.
5 seconds. Surely the plan down here. That's going to be it. Nice work. GODSENT, by virtue of Zen, managed to make their way back into the round. It didn't look good after losing a couple of picks to Electronic, even after getting a 5-on-3 in their favor. But Zen saves the day. 7-4 on the board and a must-win round as well. They came with an auto shotgun, a 5-7 on Crystal, and it works out. Michael Ailey working well with the rifles there.
Absolutely, and also making sure that Na'Vi doesn't get a bomb plant. Make sure there's no continued pressure. They're going to have to go back to pistols. GODSENT looking to get 8 rounds pretty early on in the first half. Okay.
Didn't see that one coming.
Vooch is a bit of an innovator when it comes to stuff like that.
You don't really see the Zeus board on the T side.
I like it though.
Jumped out,
Definitely didn't see that panning out.
Get yourself a kill. He survived as well, didn't he? So he's good to go.
Yeah, I guess the one sad part is that you're on the T side and you're getting an auto shotgun.
Yeah, I guess. But you'll take it better than just a Glock, no armor, I suppose. That's the guaranteed frag. He's found himself. Auto shotgun or not. They have Deagles around him. Making their way towards Ivy. Coming into the final few rounds of the first half here. 1 minute on the clock. Good shot from Boomage. Does significant damage there. Takes him down to 11. Maiden flashing it now, and he's not going to miss many shots. Takes a lot of damage himself, but they've got a 4-on-2 lead with 45 seconds here. Simple, joined by Flamey. He's trying to sneak through.
Sound.
One bullet will take a couple of these players down, and this could be the case here. Missed shot from the AWP somehow survives, and the bomb goes down. That should be round up. No one needs to challenge, no one needs to overcommit. You know it's going to be Simple or Flamey left alive, and a good nade towards the bomb site. Pretty much removes his chances. Good stuff.
Yeah. Well read from Michael Lillett. Really coming into his own here on Train. As you said, we started to see glimmers on Dust 2. Probably the most important thing to see with an operator like Michael Lillett is the fact that he's not afraid to take duels, and we saw that on Dust 2 time and time again.
He's a confidence player.
Yeah.
I haven't casted him in 2+ years, but whenever I did, you could tell when he was in the zone and when he was firmly out of it. He has different characteristics on the server. He's either really cagey, kind of missing shots and look like he's inside his own head, or he's really feeling it, and he's like the catalyst behind the team's success because he's so aggressive and believing in his own abilities so much. So definitely seeing the latter of those two options today, which is very promising. He's got nothing to lose. At this point, I really wasn't exaggerating. There's some of the players in this roster, this could be their last year of pro play if this doesn't work out. So you want to put yourself out there. You want to be taking these risks and showing you can keep up. So I respect it.
Nade's coming in. Doesn't do any damage, but Zen wants to throw one back at them, and that's going to cost him his life. Yet again, it's Ivy that's been a pretty significant focus point. You can see Main has already made note of what Na'Vi likes to do whenever they get control of Ivy. Straight pre-aiming towards that big box, but nothing comes of it just yet. Na'Vi might be looking to set up for a pretty default A execute once again.
Opening picks found. Smokes exchange. Naden trying to give himself a bit of space there. He's done a very good job of segregating the teams at this point. Pre-fires towards Olof, but unfortunately Boomich a little bit too quick on the trigger. Here we go then. It's going to be a bit scrappy towards the end of this round. You can see Na'Vi have got so much real estate on the map, but Sticko really good at exploiting that smoke, gets himself 2 kills. Impressive scenes here. The bomb goes down. Tries to fade away here. He's got backup coming in the form of Crystal. Likes to push towards inside, but he might not even need him here. A low HP Electronic holds them away from round number 9 on the board. Crystal, I think he's done enough here. The bomb down. The time remaining, I just don't even know how Electronic would find a success here.
Yeah, 16 HP as well. He's going to have to hold on. Yep. Decides to duck out with the Krieg, and that's, as you said, excellently played by Sticko. Understanding that he's on borrowed time as well after picking up the two first frag, he knows that Electronic's been in Ivy for such a long time, so when he's on the outside of 5 train, he can't stay there forever. He's either going to get pushed by either Simple or Electronic in a sandwich, needs to commit to one of the angles, and find Simple at the right time. 9 rounds for GODSENT. You said on Nuke, they probably would have needed double figures. Now they're actually looking very likely to get that on Train.
Excuse me. Yeah, this is the smoke made him through, by the way. He bounced that from the back of blue just to buy a bit of time before they committed. So he goes down with just 1 kill. I think, okay, not the best round from him, but the fact that allows Sticko to get that close towards main entrance, have that sort of positioning and an angle you just don't even consider on the T-side of Train, that's so huge. And Sticko exploits that advantage for every last drop it has.
It's the team play that GODSENT are bringing to the table.
That's exactly it.
Speaking of, pop flashes.
They are a better team than Na'Vi. Not necessarily in the rankings, not the players, but in terms of overall chemistry and the way they're playing off each other, I'd say they're a better team.
I think that's absolutely fair. All right, now the trades go back and forth. Simple gets a rough experience over towards Pop. Main probably thought that nade made it up.
Ideally would have liked it to, but not the end of the world.
Still alive, though. Crystal Probably going off of sound cues here if he wants to push forward. Otherwise, just going to hold the angle. That's not going to give a lot of time for GODSENT to actually make any sort of rotations here. This is going to be it, though. Finds Simple. Sees one. Now just tries to stay alive.
I guess plant in the open, see what can be done. Looks like a lot, to be honest with you. They have got a bomb down here. Deagle shots being connected. Flamey removed from the equation. It's now down to the 2-on-2, but Crystal's low. They know exactly where he is. This is down to Michael Ailey. He's hit some orb shots here. His teammate goes down. 1 versus 1. And it's up to Perfecto now, the new kid on the block. 3 bullets left in his Deagle. Can't really reload or give away a sound cue. I guess he might as well at this stage. Michael Ailey getting closer and closer towards the bomb. It's an open plant as well. He has no smoke for it. Running out of time here. All he can do is really just touch it. Hope for the best at this point, which he's going to do.
I'm still sticking it.
Oh, I was about to save. He misses the 1D. You're in trouble, kid.
Yeah.
But it works out. Had to be. Took his time as well. Took a second.
Yeah.
Caught his breath. Took the shot. Respect. Are we going to look at the nade? Is that what we're looking at?
It just gets stuck on the angle. And
it's kind of weird. It looks like it should be fine. It just, wasn't quite there. Okay, wow. Na'Vi certainly still around away there. Comes right down to 1 versus 1. The Desert Eagle headshot to deny the defuse at 1 second. Final round of the first half. GODSENT would love double digits. It doesn't look likely at this point with the weaponry available to them.
That might have been a little bit optimistic, but nonetheless, GODSENT sticking with their guns. So far, they're only good for 1 kill. Rough round, obviously, to close out the half. Completely broke. Na'Vi make quick work of it. Only Zen left with an M4, but he doesn't stand too much of a chance, does he? Finds Simple, so maybe he can do something. But Flamey's going to be there for their spawn. So 9-6 doesn't quite make it to double figures for GODSENT, but nonetheless a pretty successful half.
Well, no breaks here. We have worked that out now.
Yep.
Let's get straight into the action. We're going to change things up a little bit. Do you know what I was thinking as well? I bet the players start complaining about this now. Like, back when we introduced the pauses, like I used to read in-game chat, I used to hate it. And now we're like, in this tournament, we're just getting straight into the action. I bet that it's like, oh, where's the pause? I'd like to just calm down a little bit.
I think, some of the teams probably want. Yeah. This is just getting out of control way too fast.
Yeah. Nice. Normally you get like at ESL or DreamHack events and stuff, you'll get maybe
3 minutes.
3-4 minutes sometimes. Yeah. We're just straight into the action here. This is old school. So to keep going.
Yeah. I think I'm still, I guess, so old that I would like to just keep going with it.
If I was playing, I would get it, but like as I'm commentating, my voice is like after I was just screaming for like, especially the big games, I've been screaming for like 15 minutes straight. Like probably need like the 2 minutes just to catch my breath a little bit.
Yeah, have a sip of water.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I haven't actually done that once today, I don't think. So let's hydrate.
Probably, yeah, they do that. Well, seems like the tempo is going to be relatively quick on the side of GODSENT, moving towards the inner bomb site. Rotations have already started to come into place for Na'Vi, though. See if there's a bomb plant in the midst of all of this. Flamey's going to be the one to open up the show, though. Crypto chimes in as well. So back and forth so far, 3 for 3. And the bomb has been planted. Still decent after plant position for GODSENT. If you can't get forward and actually get control over the connector area, playing on the backside is not too bad. But they actually decide to take the fight. I'm curious about that one.
It's not looking too good.
That's like... That's one of the situations where it's like
they can't even believe it. It's just like, why have we got so much time here? Why is everyone dead?
What just happened? Because they would have had 2 players basically playing black walls where it's very unlikely for Na'Vi to have smoke, Molotov, and a kid. Like two out of those 3 things, right? That would make it a really, really tough retake or really tough post plant for GODSENT instead of they decide to take the long range fights with Glocks versus USPs. Sure, like at least they do go with the, I guess, the team aspect of it, which is doubling up on ramp and seeing if they can actually land some shots. But I still think they would have been perfectly fine just playing that 3v3 a bit more passive. See the odds from GD.bet. Navi's still the favorite.
They are the favorites, and we'll see whether GG.bets are correct. Ooh. Either way, grenades coming through right now as we're getting into the force by territory. The Galils are out.
Boomich straight up headed that.
Yeah, that grenade has become a lot more prevalent these days when trainers throwing like 3 of them sometimes towards the bomb train. Like, seems to do so much damage.
I feel like there's 1 or 2 teams that do that pretty religiously.
Liquid do it. I think they started doing it. I assume Astralis started it. Normally when HEs, you go to the stems, somebody Astralis has started it, but I've seen Liquid do it the most. That's why I've seen the most results from it, I suppose.
It's such a typical spot for the CTs to actually chuck their nades in towards teammate, right? If you want to get the deep nades to really mess with people who think they're playing passively. I like seeing that from GODSENT.
9-7 up. Forced by here. Just because they got the bomb down in the previous round, allows you to get 3 rifles. A couple of players of utility. That's going to be at the bottom of your screen there, Makaleli and Crystal.
Yeah. Also, you have a third smoke on Sticko as well, so they can set up for pretty much any sort of execute you want. Obviously, not fantastic in terms of flashes, but you can cut off a fair few angles here on the side of Na'Vi. But I guess Na'Vi have kind of understood that, like, in the 2 previous maps, we saw Na'Vi just dunking out this with MP9s. So good job from Simple to get 2.
Yeah, very good job. That could be enough with 20 seconds remaining. Boomers makes his way up towards the Heaven position. Stays the ladder for now, and they'll be boosting over connector. This won't be spotted, I don't think. Looks like this is enough. Bomb to go down, sure, but that's about it. Electronic to close things out. Double spray down the M4A4 is going to find them run number 8. Bomb planted, and if they got a couple more kills, they could buy again. With 4 surviving, that would probably be just a partial buy from GODSENT next. Yeah. So there we have it. Na'Vi with a nice spray down from Simple and Electronic. Allow the bomb to go down before players surviving. That's absolutely fine. Here's a look at the Na'Vi boys right now. Perfecto on your screen.
It's going to be interesting to see how he copes with the step up to, obviously, Tier 1 Counter-Strike.
It's a weird one, isn't it? There's a couple of the players, like, they can't believe their luck. Like, you look back at their careers 6 months ago, where they were and where they've landed. Like, you look at Mantu, for example, like an OG. Like, I hadn't really heard of him before. And then he's in, like, one of the biggest gaming organizations in the entire world. Like, overnight, it's like, that's so insane, dude. Like,
there's definitely chances. And it does mean that teams are also looking, I guess, a little bit out of the normal scope, which is you play versus team. Team has very good player, you coach player.
That could be like a blessing and a curse, though, because you could, like, you're so used to playing in Tier 2, Tier 3, feeling like a god. You have all this confidence going into the server that no one's seen before in this play style that's not usual, and you just shine for like 6 months or something like that. I feel like players like Cirque, for example, had that. Like, it was like his play style just looked way more aggressive than everyone else in the game at that point. Like, it was just nuts. And then players like Voxic would join in as well. Like, it was kind of this new breed of AWPer that came into the game, and it was really fascinating to see how that develops and how this mentality from coming from a lower level kind of translates to the top tier, and how everyone else will start doing it as well. Because it's like, well, if this is the way we're going to get most of the kills now, I guess I'll have to start replicating this.
And speaking of, like you mentioned, the fact that there's so many players who've gone that step from obscurity to top team. Cirque.
Yeah,
excellent example.
Yep.
He even, moved across continents for it. Simple, aggressive, finds 1. This is an eco round, so should be a pretty easy cleanup for Na'Vi. Looking at the money here on the side of Na'Vi. Actually, with how much damage they're taking right now, they're not going to be too comfortable getting an AWP in the hands of Simple right away. See if more comes of it. Oh, no, Zen. You're... Well, Electronic survives on 2 HP. That should have been the man advantage for GODSENT and a pretty spread apart team as well. More advantages given up on their side. Sticko, though, not going to get the drop on Perfecto. And that probably dispels any chances of GODSENT picking up a round and stealing that away from Na'Vi. I'm almost a little bit baffled as to how Electronic survives that. Even if to get 90 damage, that's more than... Like, from that distance, do you really need... Like, 3 hits should be enough. But wasn't it close enough to get... Like, even that, wasn't the distance close enough to where you could get 2 shots and that would still kill with a deagle, potentially?
Well, this is quite some distance now. His 1-shot connects. You can see it does some damage, and just going to have to go for the plant. I like this. Thinking on his feet, Makaleli.
Yeah, it's going to get the plant as well. This has been a great round for your GODSENT.
Yeah, might be another kill there. Not quite. So still getting the bomb down, if you're not aware. That's an extra $800 per player into the next round. That's everyone in the team, not just planted themselves. It's always worth it on those sort of rounds. Helps out significantly, especially if you partially invested. The Eagle costs $700, Armor's $650, and just to reclaim some of those losses, get a couple of kills, a bomb plant down. Are you hunting, what, the Eagles and everything else?
Yeah, literally everything they can scrape together.
Vultures.
They're really trying to make that work. And they do survive with 3, so they can feel comfortable enough to drop an AWP off to Simple. It's not going to necessarily ruin one of the players' economy to the point where he has to sit with a pistol or anything to that effect.
Devil Walk, if you're not familiar, used to play for Team Fnatic, won the first major, I believe, with them.
Yep.
One of the 3 they got. And he didn't really play after that. I think it was a couple of teams he kind of filled in for.
But he did the strange thing with Pith, right?
Yeah,
where they went to North America.
Exactly.
Winter Fox.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what he did with like Lex and people like that, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
That's a while ago as well.
That was a minute ago, and that was like almost on his way out at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's now back as a coach. He's always been like kind of on the outskirts of the scene, like in different projects or doing talent stuff or analyzing and stuff like this. But this is the first time he's really come back with a full-time thing, and so far so good. They're up against one of the world's best here on the third map. Tied up, 9-9. Not clear who's going to win. If they can win this map, that'd be massive for them.
Oh, it's Ships in the Night?
Yep. They're both just residing. This is another problem with CSGO I find right now. Everyone's just sitting in smokes because it's an own advantage.
Yeah.
You sit in the smoke, you get an extra like 0.5 seconds on them when they're looking at
it.
it.
Dissipates, yeah.
I don't like this mechanic. It's really kind of annoying me watching the game right now, but it is what it is.
We're just going to come towards Inner, though, and there's still 2 players from Na'Vi here. Oh, that's nicely done from Perfecto. Michaelilla, a little bit of on an island. He's got 4 Na'Vi players closer to him than he does any teammates. That's not a recipe for success.
There's a chance there.
So Na'Vi with the super early rotation actually saves them. They kind of just ignored the entirety of or the entire debacle in IV, where Electronic goes down to Crystal, and it pays off for them. Now though, yeah, Crystal making the right choice here to pick up the op and then duck out. Wants to bring that into round number 20. Well, that was definitely GODSENT within a chance, finding an opening for once. But unfortunately for them, Na'Vi deciding to just completely ignore it.
5 seconds. Nothing can be done. GODSENT hold on to what they have. Crystal with the AWP. AK-47 for Zen. Fair play. You won't get to win the round. These weapons are very valuable. Going forward, even if you're not going to buy, 2 guns can be enough as we get into the last few rounds here. Na'Vi with double digits first, and this is not a place you want to be. GODSENT were flying high in that first half. It looked so good for them. Yeah. Na'Vi have stolen away a lot of rounds today. That's why I'm banging on the fact I keep saying they're GODSENT looked like a better team. It's just the ridiculous nature that Na'Vi have won a few of their rounds today and still had maps fall against them, etc.
Absolutely.
It's certainly an interesting conversation. So here are the Molotovs towards main. You normally want to stack those as well. The rushes towards main are so prevalent, they'll normally extinguish one of them. So if you can do them staggered like they have there, you can see they're on top of green train and in the main entrance. So even if you extinguish one, you're not getting a fast entrance point towards the outside bomb site.
Speculation's in defeat. Well, it doesn't really matter, because Maiden's wreaking havoc.
What the hell?
It's
going to get a third here. Oh, the feeler. Oh, it's going to be
stole it away.
Stolen it. That was my kill. Oh, this is a clean sweep. As clean as you like, really. We talked about how good those incendiaries were at the start. You'd think I hold them all off, but they managed to sneak through. Maiden especially gets himself 2 very fast kills. Speaking of fastest, Perfecto, he's a CT spawn, gets himself 1, but can't really win the round. Has to fall back, retreat, and try and hold on to his M4 here. Money's actually in a bit of a troublesome situation for now as well.
The loss bonus is obviously not going to do them any favors, considering they've won every round so far in this half.
So that's $1,400.
And now losing 5. Yeah, I mean, Electronic, no money to really speak of. Simple does have enough to get a glass cannon off, potentially. Flamey can get a full buy, but Boomich and Perfecto are not going to be capable of that. And that's also one thing, again, you said it, right? The utility means so much, especially if you play against a team that's shown, I guess, a sort of tendency to play quickly. You want those Molotovs and nades towards teammate or towards the inner bomb site.
You've done what's required of you at that point. You know they're going quickly towards outside. You've dumped the utility in the correct position. Only one player snuck through, but it's Maiden, who seems to be one of the world's best riflers at this point. Like, I'm on board. Let's go. I wasn't even really aware of him before this game, I'll be honest with you. And now he's just kind of lighting it up and
he's on the radar,
just showing us that this could be something quite special this year.
It's going to be really fun to see. And again, I wouldn't have held it against GODSENT as well if they came into this tournament a little bit lackluster, again, because they do play a lot of online tournaments and everything, but it's a very different thing to get matching in tournaments.
I think they do the classic grind, though, of a CS team still. Like, they're like in that position where they're still not like established enough to get invited to tournaments. They have to put the grind in and show they're worth it. And you can see it on the servers right now, but here we go. We'll get into the action of what will be a very important round. Simple with the AWP.
Yeah, that's hero up as well, because Flemmy dropped that for him.
Yeah. So this is, we haven't really had any simple highlight moments today in terms of the AWP.
Yeah.
If he wins in this round by virtue of a couple of picks, like that's why he's there. That's why he's the AWP of the squad.
The start to 2020.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how GODSENT actually deal with this. Surely they're not just going to walk through.
You can do that, right? Because it's so unexpected.
Yeah.
It's just like the move, we've got to smoke there. The AWP won't be watching it.
Well, the rotations has come in, but it's only Flamey.
Are they doing that thing? They're going to wait till the smoke dissipates and all just have three there?
Yeah. It's going to be what you mentioned.
I don't know. They're going in. They're going in. It's fine. It would have been, they would have already tilted me. But it was all good. They were just waiting to just about going down and fully commit together. Probably the smarter way to approach it. It's going to be Boomich getting one with that CZ. Bomb does go down. Crystal certainly was a little bit anxious at that point, though. Good big kill. That is it. The AWP coming in the ladder as well. Simba has to get out of that.
Yeah, Simba made no attempt to even camouflage that. Ooh, how is Boomich still alive? He's been on solo HP the entire time.
I don't know. There's actually a chance with the winners if Simba gets the quick kill.
Oh, now you just hide. Yeah, he knows.
Okay, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, time is not. Well, he does have a kit on Simple.
There was something there.
There was definitely. I can't believe Boomich actually managed to find 3 kills off of that.
Yep.
So he wins the first duel out with Maiden, who probably should have been able to snag that kill, but the fact that he finds 2 after it with what was, I think, less than 10 HP, down in the red at the very least. There you see. He's down to 16 HP and gets himself 2 more. Really well done by the in-game leader. But it's still GODSENT back in the lead here, and they do have a full buy. The buy on the side of Na'Vi is, well, it's something. Got an op on Simple, 2 MP9s. Opting in for that extra bit of utility. Most of it has actually been used already. Nothing has really been gained from it. So, 2-man setup over towards Ivy.
Yes, indeed, and there's a lot of GODSENT presence here. There's gaps in the smoke as well. They rectify that. You see they're thinking on their feet here. They're going to send everything out they can of this Ivy position. They've broken through the initial defense here, but it's the MP9 causing chaos. Flamey with 2 kills in that respect. 3 on 3 now. Bomb to be planted. See whether that's going to be enough. Sticky, great shot. This is actually looking very good for GODSENT. Sticker especially looking sharp, like under the radar sharp. Like it's always there, hitting the shots required.
Yeah.
Not clutching out or doing anything ridiculous, but it's there when they need him. As we'll see, Perfecto now coming back through, and GODSENT with a huge round. I can't stress that enough. 12-10 up on the T side. You've just forced them into an eco. Like they pretty much have to eco at this point. They're going to be getting $2,900 per player the next round. You can get like Deagles at the very top end if you really wanted to. But you essentially eco this round. And here's the scores on the doors so far. We have got at the very top. You might have to read this one out.
Yeah, it's got Zen leading the way with 20 frags, followed by Maiden
okay,
at 18.
I thought it was 15. I was looking on the left. I can't even read KD.
Yeah, no,
so I've got 1.58. Okay.
Yeah, they've put.
Right.
They've done it so like KD's on, or the kills are nearest to the player portraits for both sides. But yeah, it's good to see Zen as well. He didn't have necessarily the biggest of impacts to start us off on the 2 first maps, and he was one of the players. When you asked me who am I looking to find the frags for GODSENT, it would be Maiden and Zen.
I've learned a lot this best of 3.
Yeah, no, that's they're making I guess the most of their opportunity here.
Here are the odds brought to you by csgo.bet. Check them out. It's going to be GODSENT now, who are
they're so close.
Not quite the favorites, but it's by.
It's as close as it's been.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable. Remember, this is GODSENT, ranked 26th in the world right now against Na'Vi, a household name with a new exciting player with 2 of the world's best players within their ranks as well. You would think this is just a definite 2-0. It was 16-6 to kick things off in favor of Na'Vi, and now Sticko. Michael Early opening things up here at round number 23, just getting it done. It's against an eco, maybe making it sound a bit more dramatic than it should be, but at the same time, the point still stands. They're going to have a 13-10 lead on the T side of training against Na'Vi.
And I mean, for GODSENT, given how many rounds they've, I guess, had scares with at the very least versus Na'Vi here when they haven't necessarily had full buys, it's very calming for them to have one of these rounds actually just go without any sort of issue. Looking to be flawless as well. That pretty much secures GODSENT a position where they can buy up for more or less the remainder of the game. This is going to be so tough for Na'Vi to get back into.
The Zeus, though. We've seen it before.
I feel like that's more like a style point kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, from Sticko, it is. Like, why are we seeing the Zeus again? Why is that making such a big name for itself here on Train?
It's just wants the revenge after he died to it.
So 13-10, Simple with the FAMAS. So this is where that whole theory of Simple getting the lesser weapons will come through now. So they could even buy him an AWP, but they really wanted to. There was 5,500 on one player there. They've opted against it, and they'll enter the round with, I don't know GUI too well, I don't think any kits, and no real flashes to speak of. They've got incendiaries and smokes to stop the rushes. But this is it. If GODSENT get this round, that could be the haymaker required to knock out Na'Vi.
We'll see, like, with 30 seconds past, let's see how many nades are left on Navi's end. All right. Maiden with a quick push into yard. That's something like Mouse Sports like to do with carrying.
Yeah, pretty much every round.
Yeah.
It's a thankless job sometimes. It is thrown out there for information, finding space for your stars. I don't think that's the case in this one because Maiden's just been killing absolutely everyone. Like, just keeps trying it. Why not? They'll commit towards inside. Bomb goes down. Now they're really committed.
That's, yeah. Not exactly the crisp, clean executions that we've been seeing out of GODSENT so far. This is really just falling apart here. They need to get a couple of kills to make this tough for Na'Vi, but all right. Timing's just not on their side for this one. It's going to be free off for Simple picked up, and all of a sudden the money woes that we were alluding to on the side of Na'Vi, even if they were to pick up rounds, if they take too many losses while doing so, it's still going to be advantage GODSENT. This kind of negates a lot of it. All right, so swings quickly back. I'm actually surprised to see GODSENT go that quickly with the information they had off of Maiden dying in main, but
they were ready.
Yeah.
Pause now.
Assuming this is going to be Devil Walk wanting to.
Yeah, like as soon as you lose on those
out.
rounds, yeah, you definitely don't want it. If you're the code, especially, like you finish a game with a super close, timeouts remaining. Like why wouldn't you use those?
It's a wasted chance, right?
Yeah, like you might as well if it's something you've spotted or just to have a conversation, just to calm everyone down. Might as well use it.
Okay, seems like there has actually been a bit of a technical snafu as well. Sticko's departed the server. Hopefully, just a quick restart of things before we get back going, because that's also a thing. If you're again the underdog, you're in the lead, closing map.
Sure.
Technical issues, I think there's a very high likelihood of you being the ones who deal with that, the worst out of the two teams. Got the momentum, obviously, before that round. You had 4 rounds in a row. We're looking to close out Na'Vi. That would have been quite the way to start your tournament here in London. Also quite the nightmare for Na'Vi as well. Na'Vi have notoriously been not necessarily the best team in the world in terms of starting out tournaments, but for GODSENT, you just want to take every opportunity that's given to you to be able to make your mark. So Sticko's back on the server.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
I haven't casted him for a while either.
Yeah, no, he...
Mouse Sports was the last time, I believe. Probably would have been late 2018. Was he still in the team in 2019? I can't remember.
I think that... Wouldn't it be the end of 2018 where they made the changes? He went out, Snacks...
It was right at... Yes, that's it. Yeah, they did New York together. They had a pretty decent tournament, and then he left shortly after that, I believe.
Yeah. And all these years kind of just blend into each other. Eventually,
it's weird, isn't it?
Kind of hard to keep track.
Like I just had a realization that is like, I did 27 events last year. It's really difficult to pinpoint what actually happened at some of these events. I just remembering them by after parties or green rooms, or sometimes it's like, what actually happened here? What game was this? What tournament? What country was it?
Yeah. Just have to do like a recap of your passport once the year's over.
Right. Not such a valuable passport anymore, unfortunately.
Didn't mean to bring that whole thing up. But
Too soon, man.
Oh, Michael attempted to get the quick pick towards lower. They know that Perfect has been shoulder peeking up quite a bit, but gets staggered by the nades and only ends up taking 52 points of damage instead. But no men lost up to this point. GODSENT definitely have something in the works here. For the Molotov. I'm actually a little bit sad by the fact that we don't see the secondary Molotov off of this.
So you can land on the roof as well, that one, where they fall back?
The one that lands on, the outside of Pop.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I think I can't remember what team started using it, but I know a lot of teams started putting it in there because they got so tired of Fur playing aggressively in pop.
Yeah, that's right. Because you couldn't even hold it anymore. It was just landing. The flames are spilling everywhere.
Yeah. Now they've used 2 Molotovs that are not going to mount to anything at all. They do have one player working his way towards Ivy. Is that Michael with the AWP, actually? Made his way out into backlines.
Perfecto. Shutting them down with the AK-47 here. Flamey chiming in as well. Looks like this is going to be enough. Zen in a 4 versus 1 here. Shots being rattled off towards the brown hole. That's where he's currently residing. Time has now gone. Spoomich knows there's a chance to remove all the money from Zen's bank account here. Not going to happen. He'll still get no cash, but he takes the weapon over with him. It's going to be a pause here as we go 13-12.
That was an odd decision from GODSENT. Again, not necessarily something too out of the ordinary to have a lurker or a late player through Ivy in those kind of situations where you set up for an intertake, but having that be an AWP is unorthodox, I'd say. I guess it might be trying to sell the point that if you send it off toward or through Ivy, that means that you're actually committing towards the yard as well.
Yeah, I guess so. All about suggestion. A lot of Counter-Strike, it's about that, to be honest with you. Like just saying, like, this is what we might be intending at this point, forcing rotations and getting into uncomfortable positions because something so dramatic has happened. But still, we do have a scenario here where Zen has saved that AK-47. Money is weak. They're going to have to let this one go 13-13. There's no 2 ways about it, unfortunately. A good chance for Na'Vi to really solidify their cash, their bankroll, as they should have 5 players survive this one, to be honest with you. They're only up against 1 smoke and a flash. As long as someone's super aggressive here, double AWP setup should be coming out on top here, no problem.
Yeah. Want to see GODSENT focus more on that yard area. That's where they found a lot of their success initially on this T side. Just being able to gradually work their way out, finding picks. And every time they've actually gone towards inner, there's always been 2 players on the side of Na'Vi holding steady. Yet again, Flamey actually abandoning Ivy completely to shore up the defense with Perfecto on inner, leaving Simple with that tiny gap to find anything at all, but it's not going to come to anything at all. Instead, it's Electronic and Boomage to find Maiden Michaelella as they move out in T main.
Well, as expected, not much of a round to report here. Just that 1 AK is remaining at this stage. That's in the hands of Zen. Has got armor, of course, but no money going forward. So ideally, would like to save again. And, well, that's even better. Gets himself a couple of kills. We might not be done here. 40 seconds remaining. All of a sudden, the atmosphere has changed quite dramatically. You can see now they know there's a chance to give this one up, but well held. Flamey and Boomich will be closing things out there. But still, not as bad as it could have been. Zen actually gets himself an extra $600 for those 2 kills.
Actually puts him in a position where he can buy AK.
You can actually buy AK armor. You can get the same buy you just had. So no harm, no foul. He removes some money from the Na'Vi bank accounts. So all is well.
Yeah. Now we'll see, though, if GODSENT can actually withstand the pressure. Things have kind of turned around. They had a 13-10 lead with significant money advantage, and then that was squandered away. Now Na'Vi actually have every bit and bob they could have hoped for. Now we're seeing that yard pressure coming in. It's a great opening for Michaelella.
He likes to get these opening picks, doesn't he? He has been consistent at it, but Electronic making things difficult for himself.
Come on, find the smoke. There you go.
No way, no. How's he got away with that? He's still alive, Halvor. He's still alive. He just set himself on fire in toward the Pop Dog room, naded himself, took a lot of damage, somehow gets another kill, lives to tell the tale, and they win the round.
That's midday murder right there.
That's crazy. Like, he fumbled that so hard, he deserved to be dead. But somehow they just couldn't get him. The smoke's there. Because the smoke he had to throw because of his own incendiary gave him enough cover not to die when the player dropped down. So look, he gets these 2 kills. Amazing. Then
not so amazing. Not so amazing. Yet not so amazing.
How did he? This is so sick.
Do you think Sticko gets the kill if he has an AK and not a Krieg?
I don't know.
I feel like that's the Garden Hose Krieg coming out there from Sticko.
Oh, that was so good. He gets a double kill there.
That's so big implications as well.
Yeah, and then somehow the smoke going down actually gives him enough cover as he drops down. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, man. Is this how it's all going to end for GODSENT? They're on pistols now. Na'Vi looking to get to 15 and at the very least secure overtime. Oh man, been a bit of a roller coaster this train map. Perfecto with the shoulder peek is going to be able to drop the smoke and get into safe passage. Crystal again probably just waiting out the smoke to see if he gets that half a second as you mentioned. Electronic seems sharp now.
Crispy. Well then, that's going to be series point.
Yeah.
I think, unless I'm wrong here. We do have the 5-on-1 Deagle clutch coming through. Either way, it does come through as a resounding victory for Na'Vi, and they just need one more round to close it out 2-1. It doesn't really matter how close the series was. All they've come for today is the series victory. Yeah. But like we said, like this, not saying this one is over, but if it does go in the favor of Na'Vi here, GODSENT have done enough here today to show the hard work that has been put in. They deserve to be at this level, and there's more to come from them. This is their first tournament, their first showing, at least at this level, the level we've been commentating at the last few years.
Absolutely. And considering, again, the scope of teams that are at this tournament, Na'Vi have to be looked at as a favorite.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so for GODSENT to really put them through the ringer and have their backs against the wall, bodes well going into day 2, obviously, and potentially the playoff days as well. As you see the scoreboard here, Electronics definitely worked his way up towards the top of it, sitting at 22 kills now, closely followed by Boomage. So on the CT side, we're seeing more and more out of the usual suspects, I guess, from Na'Vi. Simple overall, I'd say, having a rather quiet performance.
Yeah. Only because we expect so much of him.
Yeah, exactly. We have unreasonable expectations for him.
Absolutely. Like if he just has an average game that anyone else pro would have, you wouldn't say anything. But it's just simple. Like if you want to be in the spotlight, you want to be the world's best. Like people are going to notice if you have an underwhelming performance as well.
Absolutely.
And it's not like he played a bad game. Just to reiterate that, it's just like we expect the absolute tippity top in terms of peak performance from him every game, and it's. This is why I just don't like this whole idea of him being a main AWP. I think hybrid AWP, when he gets to choose, that's such a sweet spot for it. He just needed an AWP capable of filling the actual AWP role. He can definitely be a main AWP. I just feel like he's so erratic in terms of his play style. He says, well, he feels it's going to be the right thing to do in that round. That's great. But I want someone who's, if they're my AWP, I want them to be following the game plan to a T. You know, that's their role. They know they've got flight paths every single round to go through and actually clear things out for us, instead of just trying to find the pick they feel like they can get. But I'd love to be proven wrong. If Na'Vi can make this work, like, respect. But I don't see them lifting a boatload of trophies as simple as a main AWPer.
Yeah, we'll see if it's still in I guess, the experimental phase for them.
Of course, yeah.
They're still trying to figure out where they want to put him as a as you said, full-time AWPer. If it's going to be going back to that hybrid thing where he gets to pick and choose. And obviously then you'd have to hope that they haven't necessarily based their strats around him being on an AWP.
Yeah. It would just stress me out as an in-game leader or as a coach, just knowing like we don't know which round he's going to have an AWP or a rifle. Like how can we build our defaults around this? Like it's crazy.
Absolutely. Well, map point at the very least has been secured. Well, serious point, I say.
Yeah.
So, teams are just talking back and forth. Bit of a random observation, but I thought for one of these fly-through cameras, when they get to the PC.
Okay.
I think it's an Intelli 1.1 that's being used there. That's
I actually thought about this earlier. I was like, it looks like a 3.0, but maybe it's too small, so it could be the 1.1.
Yeah, but it's definitely not like your generic office mouse.
Yeah, but to be fair, some of the Intellis did just have that little kind of default view to them, the little circle at the back.
True.
Just from working in a lot of offices in my life, I've seen a few of them. I thought, wow, that looks like the mouse, but it's not.
Just go straight up to you, gaming,
yeah. It's just some whack-ass office mouse that's made by Microsoft. I've noticed that they have an Inferno. They have the 1.5 like, load screen like on the computer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they do.
I've never seen it. I walk past it. I never see it on
They have it 2 places. So they have
that's probably, I've been looking at one place. I say, I never see this.
So you have the one when you cross the bridge to Rum
that's
the
one I've been looking at. I haven't seen it.
They have one there, and then they have the one that's up in, I guess, CT side of apps as well.
Yeah.
Where you line up the smoke for balcony.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know which one I've been checking. I've seen it on lots of streams and
it pops up everywhere.
Tournaments. Never seen it myself. I was like, oh, it'd probably be cool to go check it out. Every time I check the PC, it's a blank screen. That's underwhelming.
Maybe like you stepped on something, you knocked out the power cable.
Must have done something. So, I guess there's another technical issue. Lots of typing going on.
Yeah.
might have been Stico.
I can
tell I've been home because my ears are starting to hurt a lot now when I
by
wear
having
headset.
the headset.
So
Yeah.
I've had a gaming headset on for like a month straight. So like now my ears are like, now my ears don't really like these studio headsets. Like, where's the gaming cushions? I can feel it. This is me getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
My body.
Again, it's not just that the team's warming up.
Yeah, I'm glad like it's a kind of a slower day. We're not straight into the arena and everything like that. It's just like kind of
relaxed environment.
Everyone's relaxed right now.
Nobody's staring at you.
Just having a nice little chat. Got to work it out as it comes along. Go through the technical issues, no issue. We'll have the flybys here, new ones, I believe. I haven't seen these before.
Yeah, bit of a new take on things. Remember back at Summit, the map quiz that the DJ made, where the teams had to guess certain parts of the map just off of like super obscure
off the skins and stuff. The new skins had just come out, right? That's what they were doing.
That too, yeah. Just like really like places you never would have thought about being a part of that, because obviously when you play, you look at.
Oh, it's a different thing. Sorry, you're talking about like they just showed like an area,
screenshot,
like a texture sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, like if you saw this, you would have been able to recognize what map it is.
It looks much cooler in like black and white. The haze over it.
Do you get the LA Noir feel?
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah. I was like, is that too a niche reference here? Like, no, it's definitely got like it's the noir feel in general. It's crazy. It's really cool.
Doesn't the radio play music as well?
It's actually pretty appropriate music.
Yeah. Try to see what kind of cards were on the table. If somebody had a winning hand. Not to be the case. Just enjoying the music.
And now for the construction that has been delayed due to the warfare.
More cranes. A lot of maps have cranes on them.
Yeah,
I feel like all of the CS maps have some.
Overpass does, Cache does, this does. Yeah, it's like everything's just like, right, we need a big space to fill over here, whack a crane in the corner, that should fill it up.
Construction yards.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what they're building, though. Maybe that's like the next plan for CSGO 2.
Yeah, right? All the things get completed.
We're just like, we're finished train, guys. It's only been 25 years in the making.
It kind of worries me to think about the sequel for Counter-Strike. Like, will it ever happen? Like,
surely Valve recognizes the fact that it's a franchise they've put an iota of.
But that's not my point necessarily. It's like, if you were to make one like they did with CSGO, and it's like it's terrible when it first comes out, and it's a nightmare. Like, you just keep expanding across CSGO. Do you like think, right, it's got about 3 years left in it. Do we now start developing another game? Do we look for the next trend? Do we just keep going with CS?
I guess the difference here is that now you have Valve involved in CS. Like, obviously, in the previous iterations, whether it was 1.6, 1.5, Source, or what have you, there was literally nothing from Valve's end.
Yeah.
So the transition becomes tougher. Now it's, again, if you're hosting a major in CSGO, people are going to play CSGO. If you're hosting a major in CSGO 2, people are more inclined to play CSGO 2.
Yeah, it's just, I just don't even know what meeting you'd have to have. Let's start developing the next Counter-Strike. When it's like
they might be already doing it, right?
It's the peak of its like player count this year.
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy to think that.
Maybe when they start seeing a slight dip or something, that's maybe they might
fair,
have like the development started.
Let's be real. There's not a single rival out there for Counter-Strike. There's not one game that has the same mechanics.
Project A might be the thing, but it still looks a little bit different,
That's the only one that will challenge the genre.
Yeah.
In terms of direct challenges right now, people thought Overwatch might be it. That wasn't even an FPS towards it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, so like, no one was worried about that. Rainbow Six, I suppose, but that's so much more technical and kind of strategic based than it is Counter-Strike.
It has all the like TAC team kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know,
and it has, when it has like little remote control cars flying around. That's when I'm like, this isn't Counter-Strike. We're fine.
Yeah.
But like, there's no game that's taken on a hardcore like
FPS
like arena style shooter where if you're dead, that's it. You're dead for 2 minutes. You're out of the round, and kind of playing off the search and destroy sort of mentality Call of Duty has built into it, but they just completely mess it up. When I watched,
they play like different modes. They've gone away from search and destroy.
I thought I'd give them the benefit of the doubt. I watched the first week of that broadcast. Like, the game's terrible, I'll give them that. But the way they're playing it is like they played the same map twice. I remember they played Dust 2 twice, like once in Search and Destroy, then one in like TDM afterwards. Like, so I've watched the same map back to back in different game modes. Like, I already didn't know what was happening in the previous game mode, and now it's like, so he started off with like domination, then it moved to Search and Destroy, and then at that point, we're standing up, we're coming to the camera, so we need to look a bit more presentable at this point. I tell this point of the story. What was I talking about?
Like how they were playing the same map with different modes.
Oh yeah, sorry. So they were playing the same map. The game was a nightmare to watch anyway. Like 5 people running around, all using the same gun, MP5, jumping around, shooting everyone. They're all like futuristic, like ninjas. Okay. So you can't really tell who's who. They're all like neon blue and pink with their team jerseys on. So it happened these teams had the exact same colors, like inverted. So one had white and blue, one had blue and white. So you just didn't know what the hell was going on. Then 2 maps back to back of the same thing, different modes, just a mess. This goes back to my point that no one's really taking on CSGO right now. And it's like, it's such a vanilla core game. Like the recipe's so perfect. Like it's always scary when you see the patch notes come out. Like yesterday I was reading those, I was scrolling through. It's like, what is it going to be? What have you done? What have you done? And then everyone is saying, okay, just a bench. I can handle a bench and run a map. That's fine. Map changes are cool. I'm not sure we can handle a real fundamental change, though. Right now, it seems like we're very fragile. We've got past the whole Krieg thing just about. Still talking about it every tournament, every map pretty much. But at least we're having the conversation, not just complaining about it. We're talking about what is a good thing.
I'm kind of curious, like, if there is a successor, which I'm kind of feeling there has to be at some point.
Yeah.
If they just go copy paste, new engine, done.
The people have been talking about CSGO being brought to a new engine. I swear, even 2 years ago, they're saying they're waiting to put it onto Source 2.
Because they did it to Dota. They started the entire process of Dota 2 from beta.
But what did that do for Dota that it didn't have before? What were the changes after that? Was that like a UI change?
Yeah, UI was completely rehauled. Yeah. I'm guessing like on back-end stuff in terms of how you do a broadcast or like that kind of thing might have changed a lot. But the game itself obviously got a bit of a refresh in terms of... but nothing necessarily changed too much. But I guess they're not as dependent on, like, we notice changes to an engine in terms of how movements change and all that, a whole lot more.
It's so limited. We're still running the Source engine, right? Which has been
not Source 2.
Well over 10 years at this point. And if you look at Danger Zone, for example, that is just not, Source engine is not built for games that scale. Like you'll have players that have fade out a distance, the draw distance isn't big enough in our engine to even play BR games really. And that's why they have to really contain it down to the size it's at. It's very limited and it plays perfectly fine in the environment we have right now. But the question is, where do we go next from this? Like, how do you improve upon what we have right now? The ecosystem has been built up in terms of the skins and everything like that to start fresh and make a new game. This doesn't even seem like an option at this point.
Yeah.
Like, what would you even do with that? It's like, we're just going to forget about all this.
I'm such an old head in that sense. I'm such an old head in that sense that I would just be perfectly happy if they pretty much, I guess it sounds dumb, but like re-release it, right?
I know what you mean. This is what they're doing with Overwatch next, right? They're doing like a sequel, but it's more like an expansion pack almost.
Yeah.
It's like it will still use this. I'm completely ignorant. I have no idea if that's correct. I think that's what's happening. They're doing
that's what I've heard as well.
It's a glorified expansion pack, which has new game modes and a single player add-on to it, and then it's essentially the same thing though with like more characters. And that's the way to do it. Like you can't just drop a whole new game like Call of Duty does every year.
The thing that worries me that like I don't want a reboot of Counter-Strike or an expansion pack where you add more weapons.
Yeah,
that messes with the balance of it.
With Overwatch, I think they're bringing in like single-player ideas and new game modes and like really kind of revolutionary stuff in that sense. Like it's very different from the ideas they already have in place, which is competitive.
A campaign mode for CSGO would be pretty fun, but obviously wouldn't do anything for the esports side of things.
No, not really. And unfortunately, like, to design one of those games is like the money that it takes to make a single-player game correctly with the right voice acting and all the time and story writers and stuff, like the millions it costs. Like
you could do it for free, Henry. You could do all the voices.
I could do it for free. I actually I've been working on my acting recently.
Yeah, how's your different accents? Is it just going to be like 15 different British accents?
Yeah, different variations.
Scouser, like.
I think I could do an American accent. I can get away with that. I can maybe do Canadian as well. I can chuck that into my forte.
How's your Australian? Has that improved since
I live
living with Chad?
Yeah, I can definitely. I wind them up with it sometimes. I don't want to do it right now, as it feels like it's not appropriate.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty good at the Australian accent. But mainly, regional British accents I can do quite well.
Yeah.
Irish I can do a bit of.
Oh.
But that's about it. But if you ever need a voice acting for CSGO, let me know. If we're doing the expansion pack, we're working on it, let me know.
Yeah. Actually, I was about to say, like in Dota, they have voice lines or voice packs. We have music kits.
Yeah, they're like the casters get that sort of stuff in game as well, right?
Yeah. Would that be a thing? Maybe it doesn't happen for like the actual games, but if you have voice packs when you play, you remember the old Warcraft 3 mods?
Yeah, of course.
And also like you had the monster kill, voice lines, all that kind of stuff. Get that for Counter-Strike?
That would be so cool. Even if it goes down to like I don't know, a 1v1 or something like that. Like gives you some cool, like a cool little sound, like you've earned it sort of situation, and people know you've got that skin or voice pack, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's so much more that can be done with CS. I feel like it's frustrating, like the whole I guess we've got enough time to talk about it now. I might as well get everything off my chest while we're here. Like, we're still having these conversations about 64 tick, game that was released in 2012, and we're saying it's too expensive to increase the server capacity.
Or that the people don't have the PCs to.
Sorry, if you can't run a game from 2011 right now at 100 FPS, like that's a you thing. Like, I would get it 5 years ago. I'd get it.
Yeah, because
2 years ago I'd get it. But now we've got a whole new decade situation going on here. Let's say a game made in 2000, developed in 2010 to 2012. Let's say you should be able to run that at this point.
Yeah.
It should just be a requirement. And if you can't, plenty of other games out there. It's fine.
Well, I mean, if you have a PC that can't run something from 2012, then you probably don't really have that many options, I guess.
If you want to play a hardcore FPS competitive shooter, I get it.
Yeah.
Not everyone's in an amazing situation, but still, I don't think that can't be the driving force behind not having 128.
No, I agree with that.
Not only because I feel like, oh, the reg is so bad, man. It's just you can't throw the same nades as the pros. So what's the point in us watching? Go, wow, what a crazy nade! We can't even do it at home.
And again, it feels like it goes against what Valve has been wanting to do, right? Because they want everything to be a one-to-one experience with what you see at majors to what you do at matchmaking, and then you don't have the servers.
Them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They want everything to be the same, but apart from the fundamentals of the game, which is kind of weird.
We'll see if maybe 2020 has something to bring for that. As you said, new decade, maybe new chances, new hopes.
Yeah.
Or same old hopes.
Well, unfortunately, I think this needs someone to test them.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
The whole beta client thing kind of just went by the wayside, didn't it?
That's okay. Let's talk about that. They made that big announcement saying, right, we know we made some mistakes with some of the updates. We dropped them in the middle of the tournaments. Then it'll screw things up. Or we'll make an update that we break the game for a week. Or we'll introduce a whole beta client situation.
They did everything there. 2 updates or something?
They've used it once or twice, and then they thought, you know what, let's throw caution to the wind and just start pumping those updates out. Untested, detrimental changes to maps, weapons, anything you like. We'll just pump them into the game and just really hope for the best. I know it'll be broken for a day or two. We get that. But
can you imagine like with the model skins as well? That has been disabled for pretty much every tournament there is. If they had dropped that into beta server, like obviously, like
we would have had so much valuable
wow,
kind of information before. It wouldn't have been a whole thing. It would have come in and said, "Oh, this is a nice little change. We've done it properly. We've corrected ourselves here." And instead of just dropping into the game live, it's big outrage. And then everyone's like, at that point, it's so kind of cemented in their head that skins are a bad thing. They don't even want to help you out. It's like, no, get rid of these. They're rubbish. Like, there's a correct way to do things. And I don't know what's going on at Valve. They've done some very good things this year. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
no.
Like I said, the peak player base has happened this year, right, with the new operation and stuff. Like, although I don't find the operation that compelling, I think it's pretty boring, to be honest with you.
It's just like the generic missions.
It got people interested in Counter-Strike again. That's the objective, so it works.
There was one of the operations where they had like kind of a story thing to it, where you could like co-op.
That was cool. That was my favorite one. Like, you like bespoke
content
content like that. That's not just like, oh, work with a friend and try and get 5 scout kills in this map together. I think that sucks. But if they've actually created like a little level that's like cool and engaging, using the Counter-Strike mechanics and guns and stuff, it's just worth it. I paid money for this.
Yeah.
When I was on Dust 2 with a Nova shotgun for 20 minutes trying to get 15 kills in like 5 minutes, something, I was like, this is not. I shouldn't be paying for this experience. I could have this for free before I paid for this. I don't know why I paid for it. Paid the privilege.
You get a sticker though.
Deathmatch on Dust 2.
You
know what I did just to really stick it to him? Instead of doing all the missions, I just dropped like £200 in to buy all the levels. I was like, you know what? I'm not. You can have my money, but you can't have my time.
No, okay, fair enough.
That is it. That is where I draw the line. My time on this sort of nonsense is not. You're not having.
But this is where you know that Valve are sitting like, yes,
yeah, exactly. I know.
Plan.
They win either way, but at least I know I didn't sit there on Dust 2 Deathmatch with shotgun.
You didn't defeat yourself.
I did the first week of them. I completed all of them. I felt like I hated myself so much. I was like, I've wasted like 6 hours of my human life here. There's useless missions that weren't hard, just tedious. Why have I done that?
Oh.
Shotguns, scouts, trying a jumping. One of them was like, try and get a jumping kill with this weapon over here. It's like, why? what is this doing for me? It's not even fun. Go put your graffiti in T-spawn. Why? What is the
assert dominance?
What purpose is it? Then everyone is knifing out and running to T-spawn for the entire game. It's just like, what are we doing?
Especially when it's on like casual pubs as well, because then there's going to be 5 people with an op sitting there anyway.
It was a weird week, and I was like, this is the big like respect. Everyone's playing the game again, get it. But I was like, this is what we came up with, like 2 years of our operation. This is the fruits of our labor. Is we've got shotguns and Dust 2. DM, just try and get it done.
Yeah. So for anyone at Valve listening, Henry's open for consultation.
I have so many good ideas. People just won't let me implement them.
Yeah.
I did like the classic knife. I won't lie to you. I bought that straight away.
Yeah, no, I heard the stories.
You had the story, the legendary stories. There
yep.
was money being thrown around in the lantern these days.
Yeah.
As soon as the skin comes out, I was like, boys, I could unbox it.
You had a solid 3 hours with it before you had to go.
That's why whenever I know I've got like a few days of CS, I'm just like, I'm going to buy some skins to make me play CS.
Yeah.
It's the only way I'm going to get the money's worth out of this skin. So I'll play for like 2 weeks straight off these brand new shiny skins. And as of last night, I had to pack it all down. Right? But that's it. Not going to be seeing these for a while. Pack them all away, back in the inventory.
You've actually had the opportunity to play a fair bit of CS though. Over the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, that was the peak when we were doing. Like, I've got to the burnout point now. I went to that magic period when you first get home and you feel like a god. I was a god for like 2 weeks or something. Like I think I posted on Twitter. We had like 20 ranked wins in a row on FACEIT, and then I took 2 days off. I think.
Yep.
Sorry, just getting the update. They basically said, Henry, keep talking. What was I talking about?
The 20-game win streak.
20-game win streak was I was playing great. Everyone was looking good. The thing is, when we play this, we play like level 10 elo. You like stand to win like 10, but you can lose 40. Like that's pretty much the system. So we did like 20 in a row, deep in level 10, looking real good. I think I got like 2,400 elo. Then the losses started arriving. Then the tilt started. There's a correlation between losses and tilt. And then there's this perfect sweet spot where they collide on the graph, and then everything just goes wrong. Like everything just drops off. And the last 3 days or so, I've kind of found that spot where we're losing 50 elo a game, and we're losing the most ridiculous way towards the end. And I'm getting so mad and bringing that energy to the next game that it's plummeted right down again. We're right back to where we started at the start of the break. Unfortunately, it's heartbreaking, but humbling.
Yeah, no, that's I've had that experience as well the last couple of weeks. The cheeky going into +5, -45 game time and time again.
I like that feeling.
You win.
You just know as well, like they're going to be so fired up to win this. They've got nothing to lose, and I'm going to be pissed off from the get-go because I'm potentially going to lose all my elo here, and more likely going to lose because I'm already mad. So there we have it. All right, ladies and gents, thank you for listening to the rant. We are going to take a quick break before this derails. There is a Steam connection issue as well. We're out of our hands. Nothing the guys can do here. We're just waiting for Steam to come back. Hopefully it will, and I'll provide information as and when it comes. But for now, we'll take a break and bear with us. Thank you very much.
Far away.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to what could be the final round here. It was an unforeseen break, I'll say that much. No one really wanted to see it, but we had to find it. It was a Steam issue. One of the players crashed. Steam servers weren't playing nicely, and we didn't get back in. But we're back up and running now, and it is currently 15-13 on the third and final map here on the first day here at GGBet Ice Challenge. We'll see now if Na'Vi can close things out in a 2-1 manner, or whether we can go to overtime once again, like we did before.
It's definitely going to be an interesting one. Na'Vi definitely in the driving seat as of right now. Last 5 rounds to their name. Maiden trying to be cheeky here. Gets found by Electronic.
Damn. Nice work.
Well, yeah.
This could be it. I didn't even sit down. It felt like there's a good chance it could end at this point. Boosting over on the pallet here, it would take some audacious players from the Na'Vi side to give this one up. That was the window of opportunity. Michael Ellie can't quite close it. Zendery thrown in towards Popdog, just buying time here, whittling down the clock if possible. That's a shot that has to connect as well. It'll be Zen to find them their first opener. Simple has the AWP now. He's not going to miss many. You've got to take him down quickly. As it looks like we're coming to our logical conclusion here. Sticko left in a 4 versus 1. 15-13. 1 round to decide it all. We waited a while for this one, and looks like Na'Vi will be closing it out. No problem whatsoever. 45 seconds here. No grenades. Bomb on his back. Needs someone to make an absolutely disastrous mistake at this point. First kill comes in.
Missed shot from Simple as well.
Julie's closer. Why not? There it is. It is going to be 16-13. Thank you so much for bearing with us. That's the final round concluded, and the series, and the day. We will have Na'Vi going forward in the group. No one's out, though, are they, Halvor?
No.
How's the format looking now?
I mean, it's standard group stage here to kick us off, so we're going to have, well, everyone who's
Everyone plays everyone in both groups, right?
Yeah, so we're still going to get through all of that in that sense, and well, GODSENT, I guess they can feel good about that part of it because obviously they have their chances to beat Na'Vi here on this in this best of 3 series, and it would have been I would have felt really bad for them honestly if they were to go out just right off the bat given the performance they showed here.
Yeah, I feel like that was enough though. The fact it was a best of 3, had that been a best of 1, we'd just seen the first map and we just thought, okay, there's nothing really to talk about this team. We'll forget about them. The fact we got a best of 3, we got to see the kind of full strengths of them, what they're good at, what they're not so good at. It seems very clear that they're very good at the kind of overall team chemistry, having the set pieces, the timings, and that sort of general composure to work as a squad. Individually, they have some amazing players, but not necessarily on Na'Vi's level, and I think that was a difference maker towards the end. Yeah,
it seemed like that. So once one of the bigger players or the bigger impact makers for GODSENT started to cool down, you really started to see things normalize.
Well, here is the brackets. You can see Mountsports will be taking on Virtus.pro tomorrow, and then we also got Mad Lions and Heroic. That will be a loser's game down there at the bottom. So the loser of that bracket down there goes home. Mountsports versus Virtus.pro. Virtus.pro are avant-garde, and they actually looked. I watched their game today. They looked like they should have lost Heroic at some points, but overall, you would expect them to take down Heroic. Still a good scalp to take. They're a very strong team these days. And here's Na'Vi taking on GODSENT, as we just saw. They'll be taking on OG tomorrow. It's a big grudge match today. OG against ENCE was fantastic. Alexi B getting a bit of redemption there, potentially. Absolutely. And Na'Vi versus OG. What do you make of OG so far? If you could summarize after what we saw at BTS and how they've developed, what are you thinking about them at the moment?
I mean, they're definitely a team with a lot of potential as well. For me, the biggest question mark is going to be how well, I guess so many tactical-minded players will actually come together and be able to think the same way about a game.
Especially even different regions and kind of never really spoken in English, any of them before. Like this is going to be a very interesting chemistry set they've put together.
Yeah, but I think what we've seen so far has been pretty promising. Again, ENCE has been a team that's been pretty troubled as of late, so can't necessarily make sure or say that we can conclude that OG are now a top-tier team by any means, but it's a good start at the very least.
Well, that concludes day 1, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a great day of CS. 4 best of 3s concluded. I think I had some fun. It was a good way to get warmed back up into things. It set the tone quite nice. We've got one more day tomorrow of group stage play. Then we'll have a break after that before the real tournament begins. This is definitely a group stage. It's in the hotel right now. Move on to the arena from Thursday. So this is going to be a lot of fun as it progresses. For now, though, thank you to GGBet. Thank you for the teams playing. Thank you to you, Halvor, and all the other commentators. And we'll see you tomorrow. We'll do it all over again with 4 best of 3s. I hope to see you there.